time for a game of fact or fiction. Domonique, Foxworth. If I said the Baltimore Ravens, not the Bills, are the biggest threat to the Chiefs, is that fact or fiction?
I would have to whisper that it's fiction because my son is a crazy Ravens fan. He was born in Baltimore, which is why our cat is named Lamar, and he'd be pretty upset right now if I told him the truth, which the truth is the Bills have beaten the Chiefs more recently and seem well-equipped and built to give the Chiefs trouble. So, yeah, I think the Bills right now are the team that if you ask Chiefs fans or the Chiefs themselves that they'd rather not play, it'd be Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, and if Lamar the cat hears you say that, he's going to come back and break something else because he's going to be mad about you not liking
Lamar the leopard, not the ring.
Lamar the leopard. Like a leopard. Yeah, exactly.
Lamar the leopard.
What do you think, Ravens?
No.
The funny thing is he's a Bengal. Technically as a cat, he's a Bengal. So he's Lamar the Bengal, which doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
doesn't make any sense.
No. You say leopard, it just rolls off the tongue.
It's a conflicted cat right there.
Well, it's still in the same division, so it's okay.
Twice a year, he's conflicted.
Yeah,
what do you got on the Ravens?
Yeah,
any good?
Yeah, no, I think the Bills are the biggest threat to the Chiefs, not the Ravens. Look, a little bit to what Nick said. Look how well they just played against Kansas City. They have a 138-point margin over the course of the season. I think they've been the most consistent team all season long. We've talked a lot about Josh Allen, but I look at the other side of the ball. Von Miller off of suspension, Matt Milano coming off of injury. I just think they're going to get better on defense, and I think they've just been more consistent than the Ravens this season.
Yeah, we'll see. I know I haven't lost that playoff game at home to the Chiefs last year. The Bills would love another crack at it. Hey, speaking of the Chiefs, Jeff Saturday, do you think Patrick Mahomes has enough weapons for the Chiefs to three-peat? Is that fact or fiction?
That's fact. You think about Patrick Mahomes. This team has produced 40-plus 10-play drives, which leads the NFL, and 20-plus 10-play drives with touchdowns. What does that mean? They can control the clock, whether it's Worthy, Kelsey, Hunt, Pacheco, you name it. Their Achilles heel is left tackle. And as long as Tunis can be out there and play decent out there and Patrick Mahomes isn't peeking to his left on the regular, this is still a team that can play with anybody, beat anybody. They've lost one game, and all I ever hear from anybody is doubt. I am not doubting the Chiefs until somebody beats the Chiefs in the playoffs at home.
I was going to say, I feel like every single week we sit here and talk about are the Chiefs
Greeny in the Miles Sanders pocket, not us.
Are they these games are all close? They could go either way. Nick, I mean, you've been kind of on that bandwagon. Like,
yes, he has.
Are these close calls going to be something that hurt the Chiefs come playoff time?
Yeah, I don't know if the close calls are going to hurt or help them. I don't think those particular games matter. What does matter is I'm off the hating train. I watched this offense last week, and it was the first time we saw this offense look like we expected, and they changed some. So getting rid of the ball more quickly for Patrick Mahomes to take pressure off that offensive line, even though they have Tooney playing pretty well, going from guard to tackle. But I think the big thing was Hollywood Brown stepped in, and it pushed everyone down the receiver's depth chart. And we see Worthy being the gadget-type player that he is supposed to be, really impacting this offense. So officially, right now, I'm done being a Chiefs hater. I think they are probably the best team in the AFC.
Welcome to the bandwagon, baby. We got plenty of room. Jump back on.
We saw some offense. We saw some offense for once. We saw Patrick Mahomes do his little scrambling thing. It was different.
Yes.
Tomorrow's Christmas. Last year they lost on Christmas. They've lost one game since.
Just think.
And we got to get people on the bandwagon?
Neek didn't even want Mahomes to play. He didn't want him to play. Neither did Mike T. Neither did he even want to see Mahomes.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
There are people on the show every Friday that pick against the Chiefs. I don't get it.
I know.
It makes no sense.
I'm sitting there looking at the picks. I got Chiefs. You guys got everybody else. It's like it's easy money. They're 14-1. I, for one, like their chances. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike T? If I said they'll be one and done in the playoffs again this year, fact or fiction?
That is fact. Unfortunately, we're looking at our good friend Heather Dinich in the background here, a big Steeler fan. But here's the reality. How about this? The Steelers average 100 yards more per game passing yards with George Pickens than without him. That's a stunning statistic. And when your hopes are on one person's hamstring, I'm just not buying it. That interception right there changed the trajectory of two teams for the entire season. That pick six to me just was the beginning of the end. I just think they're too dependent on one player, and I just don't believe in the Steelers.
What about them makes them that dependent on him, though?
Because Russell Wilson, what does he do well? He throws a really good deep ball. They got Mike Williams over. That has helped. But at the end of the day, that's what George Pickens can do. He's a great complementary piece to Russell Wilson. And to me, opposing defenses are going to take that away. You got to figure out another way to win.
Yeah, Arthur Smith's offense wants to look like the Chiefs and the Eagles. They want to be able to control the line of scrimmage. They want to have some intermediate and then take deep shots down for the chunk plays. The problem is they live and die on the chunk plays because they can't control the line of scrimmage nearly as well as those other two teams. And so when you think about why Pickens is so important, he is the type of guy in 50-50 balls. He's going to win a lot. He's a physical receiver. And whether you like it or not, he got a little nastiness in him, right? So everybody feeds off of that energy. And again, players in the NFL, they understand exactly what I'm talking about. There's certain guys, when they hit the field, they just give you a different level of energy. Pickens brings that, whether he's blocking or catching. He has a certain attitude that when he plays lights out, everybody else feeds off of it.
We'll see if he's able to play tomorrow against the Chiefs. Nick, what do you think? Ravens got this division now that they won that game Saturday?
Yeah, I was slow to come around on this one also, but I do think so. Because in large part, honestly, because I think I thought the Chiefs were going to lose because they couldn't protect the passer against the Steelers pass rush. But the way I saw their offense get rid of the ball quickly, now I think the Chiefs will beat the Steelers, which gives the Ravens a chance to take this division.
There you go, Jeff. You were wondering what that was all about. And now you know.
Cartoons. I love it.
Back on Get Up, we got stock up, stock down from Week 16. Jeff, Saturday, whose stock is up after Week 16?
A hometown Atlanta Falcons. All you can ask for this time of year is to control your own destiny. They went out and they're in the playoffs. They with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing. They start Penix. He plays well enough to win, and you have Bijan Robinson plays good. The Falcons, like I said, the destiny's in their own hands. You got to have stock up if you get that in December.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers losing to the Cowboys obviously made that possible for Atlanta. Again, Mike T, whose stock is down after Week 16?
Shedeur, Sanders, Las Vegas, house hunting proclivities.
Well played.
Because with Vegas beating Jacksonville and looking at the Giants here, the Giants are not going to win another game. They're on the clock. Shedeur, welcome to MetLife.
Wow.
How about that?
What if he doesn't play?
Right.
Now we're talking.
Oh, now we're talking draft.
I feel like we're going to have plenty of time to talk about that in the coming months here on Get Up. And in the meantime, Neek, whose stock is down after Week 16?
Yeah, I have to say Thomas Brown, who is the head coach of the Chicago Bears. His stock was up. It was crazy high. He seemed to be able to figure out how to fix Caleb Williams. And then inexplicably, the management decided to move him up to head coach. And then Caleb got worse and the team went back to being terrible. So it's not all Thomas Brown's fault. It's not all Caleb's fault. It's not all anyone's fault. But we do know that the Bears in general stock is all the way down.
Stock up, by the way, on Domonique's holiday wardrobe with a costume change there in the break. Also stock up on Lamar Jackson's MVP candidacy. I think people were handing this award to Josh Allen here for the last couple weeks, and he probably will win it. But after this past week, it reminds you there's still some football left to be played. Josh had a little bit of a down game. Lamar beats the Steelers, maybe puts the Ravens back in control in the AFC North. So let's not write it off yet. Lamar could still win his third one and make Domonique's cat happy. Jeff, who do you think the MVP should be?
Right now, I think it's Lamar. But I'll say this. If Saquon Barkley breaks the record, Saquon Barkley should win it. Bottom line, he breaks the record. I don't care how good Lamar's playing. I don't care how good Josh Allen's playing. If you break a record that's held by Eric Dickerson back in your high school days, that's a long time ago, or actually probably Mike T's high school days. We got to have that happen. That's got to be the MVP.
He's not going to be active in the last game of the season.
Oh, my gosh. You wouldn't play him. You wouldn't play him the rest of the season.
Mike doesn't think anybody should play.
We're trying to win a championship. I mean, what a crazy thought that is.
Oh, my word.
Anyway, what's Saquon's touchdown to interception ratio this year? Is that passer? Like, I'm just kind of curious. We're talking about.
He went 0 for 1 the other day. Did he have a little fake? No.
Neek, talk some sense into Jeff. Who's the MVP right now?
Yeah, I think it has to be Josh Allen right now. Lamar, the bar is a little higher for Lamar. He has 2 MVPs, and plus you can look around him and you can give credit, which may or may not be fair because Lamar's having the best season of his career, but you can give credit to some of the players around him, particularly Derrick Henry. And you look at the same situation in Buffalo. I think coming into the season, we thought the Bills were going to have a bit of a down year, and they look to be poised to get the number 2 spot. So I think Josh Allen probably is the MVP, but it's not over. Lamar has a chance today on Christmas with all eyes on him to do something crazy and make us all remember remember that he should be the 2-time MVP. But I think right now Josh Allen's got it pretty good in hand unless something goes terribly wrong in the next couple of weeks.
I think both things can be true. I think Josh Allen probably has a little bit of a lead, but the year that Lamar Jackson having 37 touchdowns and his yards per attempt are 6th best in the league, meaning he's getting the ball down the field accurately. And that to me it's so impressive to see his skill development. I mean, he may not win the MVP, and this could be his best season despite winning it, 2 previous times. So again, these are tough arguments because you don't want to take away from the other guy. They're both having great years, but I'll tell you what, Lamar Jackson, what they're doing on offense is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, and the Lamar thing, they've had drops and the interceptions. And Nick and I talked about this morning. They're not even his faults. So, when you think about, how even when he has interceptions, it's not his fault, that's pretty insane.
Yeah. 8.4 yards per attempt is outstanding for a quarterback.
Wow, he's having a better year than he had last year when he won it. He might not win it. So, hey, you guys want to hear what Orlovsky had to say about this?
Yeah.
I know you do. I know you guys are
What's
fascinated.
Monday Dan got?
What do you got? In the hot take time machine, we're going all the way back to what? Yesterday? Was that when Orlovsky said this? Take a listen.
The only way that it gets cracked open, Cincinnati gets in. I think if Cincinnati gets in, Joe Burrow absolutely has a case. He's having an unbelievable season. You mean to tell me that the quarterback who leads the NFL in all the categories with a defense that is terrible, bottom 5 in the NFL, he's not going to get into the conversation?
Oh, my word.
Who is he talking to up there on the ceiling?
You know why he's talking up? Because he's high. So he's looking up to see. My man Dan is high. First of all, he's got Lamar Jackson in his division. He's like, who is he doing? He has all those numbers because his defense is awful. You play the whole game. You throw it on. You got Higgins. You got Chase. He has players. This is Monday Dan. He's been really good this year until this Monday that he lost his mind again.
Real quick, Nick.
Yeah, the problem is his argument kind of eats itself because if you're going to say that Burrow should be the MVP, it shouldn't matter the team's success. If you bring team success into it, then you start looking at the other quarterbacks whose teams have been more successful. So his argument shouldn't change whether they make the playoffs or not. It kind of hurts itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good take because we can poop all over it.
Yeah.
So.